Oh, goody. Guess who was like, I actually feel like a vaguely comfortable temperature today. And then I sat down to stream and I'm like, oh, wow, no, I am incredibly sweaty and super uncomfortably warm. I've got 3 cold drinks with me today. I don't know if it's going to be enough. Anyways, hello and good time zone. And what is up, gamers? And you will not believe what happened to my masking fluid during the heat wave so far. Because it's nasty. You probably don't want to see it. But I will tell you about it anyways. Oh no! I need to make a minor adjustment to the camera because I've just realized that you can see, my shorts. Okay, is that better? Are my shorts no longer visible? Okay, good. Ah! Please don't look at my shorts. I just bought new shorts because it's been really warm and I'm like, I should probably have shorts to wear in the house when it's warm. But, yeah, anyways, I don't like wearing shorts normally because I'm shy. But here we are. Hi everyone, welcome in. It's lovely to see y'all. It's wonderful to be here. I'm so uncomfortably warm. Oh my god. Turnip, hello, and thank you so much for the lurk. I hope you're having a lovely lurk. Advent, hello to you too. I hope you are well. Bees! Hi, welcome. Hope you are having the loveliest of lovely Mondays. And Q2s as well. I hope your Monday is delightful. Katie says, oh god, masking fluid already messy. Yeah, it's nasty. B says, happy time zone and water pattern. Thank you, and same to you as well. Leaky, hello, Mr. Coolness. Hi, welcome in. Hi, everybody. Happy Mondays. Welcome in. Yeah, so here's my masking fluid. And normally, masking fluid is fairly fluid, but this is just... I don't know if you can see... I think it's just gone... Like, the last time I checked, it had gone fairly thick. Now it's just, I think it's just solid. I think it's just dead. Anyways, hi, Leaky. Oh my goodness.
Oh hell yeah, Leaky just subscribed.
Thank you.
I swear it was only the other day that I triggered the alert for 19 months.
What
Confused
is time?
face emoji.
What is time? Sunrise, sunset, sunrise, sunset. Am I right? Thank you so much for the sub 20 months. Oh my god. That is within a hair's breadth of being a year, my friend. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Please enjoy the emotes and stuff. And thank you so much. B says, looks like you got a lot of use out of that bottle of masking fluid. This bottle of masking fluid has masked off so many ding-dang paintings, but there's still like this much. There's this much left in the bottom that is just... it just ain't moving. I don't need it for today, so I don't necessarily want to like open it up and try and excavate any of it out, but... Yeah, it's doing an impression of molasses, says Katie. Also, hi, Katie. Yeah, it is it even flowing? I've just got it sort of sideways to see whether or not it's Okay, it is flowing. Quite possibly one of the slowest fluids I've ever seen. Like, it's so thick. It's not... For anyone who isn't familiar with using masking fluid, it is not supposed to be this thick. I think it's just reacted to the heat. I think it's just not... Maybe just not meant to be... To exist in this heat. I don't know if I can bring it back from this, whether or not it'll be... It's usable at all. I mean, it is making floppy noises when I shake it up. So something's happening in there. But it is indeed incredible. Maybe I just need to agitate it and then it'll work. I don't know. Anyways, it's gross and I kind of just wanted to get a new one, but that feels really wasteful because there's like at least 25% of it left. Almost a year, says Leaky. If only the stream wasn't slowly moving further away from Earth, extending the length of its orbit. Oh no! Oh no! Goodbye. Anyway, but yeah. Woof. It is, what shall I say, surprisingly warm and sweaty in here considering I was actually somewhat comfortable in the house today. And now it decides that, I don't know, F you, it's gonna be unpleasant, so, great. Oh, I should have texted my person to say, posties bin BT dubs, because they got a box delivered earlier. So, anyways. One of my 3 beverages is half a can of Hip Pop that is very flat because I started it yesterday and then put it in the fridge. It is no longer zippy. I also have an iced instant coffee. I'm drinking an instant coffee because I did make myself a filter coffee before we started stream. And once again, the milk was about 5 days away from going out of date. And it fully curdled. So, yeah. This is one of the things I flippin' hate about when the weather gets really hot here in the UK. This is another one of the things. I'm so sorry, I don't want to go on about this all stream, but even though the fridge is doing its ding-dang best to keep things as cold as possible, things keep going off before they've gone out of date. Specifically milk. I had to bin the last, like half a pint of milk the other day. It was the 10th. It was best before the 14th. And I opened it up and it was yogurt. So that went in the garbage. Today, I used up the last of a jug of milk. It smelled perfectly fine, but it fully curdled in my coffee. So, ouchie gozies. Sad. Anyways, cheese curds is for Putin, not iced coffee. Oh, Leaky. I mean, you're correct, but ew. Is it possible the milk got left outside during delivery to the store? I genuinely don't know. Katie. It's so frustrating to me. And I do find, in my experience, milk seems to go off faster in this country generally. Do we need out from shops? Not that I can think of. I have texted to my moderator / spouse because he asked if we needed out from shops. Anyways, this iced coffee is perfectly cromulent and delicious. You'll see it's full of ice cubes, so it's nice and cold. Tastes like instant. It's fine. It'll do. Advent has been making jasmine ube latte. Ooh, fancy. I do love a jasmine tea. That sounds really cozy. B says, sometimes the fact there is a moment in time that the milk goes from fine to not fine is really good. Yeah. Absolutely. The fact that it's just like, okay, this milk was okay. Or like if you ever had the experience where, like, you put that milk in your coffee in the morning and it was fine. Or like it seemed fine. And then you come back to put some milk in your tea in the afternoon and it is very much not fine. And you're like, oh my god, what the hell did I drink? Am I gonna be sick? And 98% of the time you're fine. But that always scares the heck out of me. I do not like it. I do not like it. It is not fun for me, but here it is. Anyways, yeah, fun stuff. I am going to moisturize my handies a little bit before we start painting because for some reason, this weather has been making my hands really dry and it's very uncomfy and I don't like that either. But yeah, so I have half of a berries and cherries millennial soda, my beloveds. I am loving these millennial sodas. They are exactly what I've been asking for them to make for years, which is, if you get taxed for putting so much added sugar into your drinks, don't add sweetener to your drinks, just put less sugar in the drinks, they'll still be good. And this drink is good, and there's less sugar in it, and I like it. I'm over 40. Anyways. B says, but that being said, I'm over 40, and I like that this isn't as sweet. However, I have also been eating through 2 boxes of fruit roll-ups that I brought back from Canada. Because I find them a very pleasant treat. I think more than anything with fruit roll-ups, though, it's the texture. It has a texture that I find very satisfying. Yes, less sugar, says Bees. Yes, exactly, yes. No fake sweeteners, says Bees. Yes, I wholeheartedly agree. There's like one brand that has stevia in it that I can kind of tolerate, but again, it's too sweet. If I want sweeter, I will add my own, says Advin. Yes, exactly, yes. It should be to taste. And my taste is, it doesn't need to be that sweet. It just doesn't. It's a weird position to be in, actually, because, like, I love a bit of, like, for instance, say when I go back to like my homeland, I like a bit of nostalgia, you know, for things that like I used to enjoy from there, and I'm just finding there's a lot less that I find nostalgically enjoyable these days because it's like, this cream soda is good, but I sure wish it wasn't as sweet. And I say that about a lot of things, and it's like, oh no, have I changed and grown as a person, and my tastes have changed and grown too, so the things that I look back on with fondness, I don't like as much now? Oh no! The good news is Cheerios cereal is just as excellent as ever, so at least I've got that. Anyways, Bea says, my mom started cutting her regular soft drinks with plain soda water. Chef's kiss. Brilliant. Wonderful idea. I love that. That's really good, just to cut down the sweetness. Yes. I used to, actually, you know, even when I lived in Canada, we would buy, like, fruit juice. And then when we would serve ourselves fruit juice, we would cut it with, like, half fruit juice, half water. So we were basically making our own, like, really watery squash. And then here in the United Kingdom, if you can find a squash that isn't, like, sugar-free with the, with added sweeteners, if you can find one that doesn't have added sweeteners, you can just use not so much of it, and it's not super sweet, and it's fine. Yay! Anyways, sugar-free Red Bull so very much. I cannot really remember what, no, I take it back, I can remember what Red Bull tastes like. It's acquired, and it's not a taste that I have, but I love that for you. I can't do watery drinks, OMG, says Katie. Is it too, like... Do you not like if the flavor is homeopathic, or do you prefer just having, like, water? Your streams always make me want to start a beverage business, says Aspen. Oh god, I am not the person to inspire a business, unless you have an interest in business itself. But I mean, go you. I'm not sure what you would do, but whatever you did sounds great. Red Bull tastes like children's cough syrup to Leaky, if it was carbonated. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I'm trying to remember, like, the cough syrup flavors that I remember from being a child. I know that there are certain things that are, like, cherry-flavored sweets. That, like, artificial cherry flavor, that was a big one I remember from my youth. And also, now this, and I did not like that, because it was very syrupy and nasty. Very syrupy and nasty. But I did have to take antibiotics a couple of times, I think, that was banana flavored, and for some reason I really liked the taste of the banana medicine. I don't normally like artificially banana flavored stuff, but for some reason those banana antibiotics absolutely slapped, and I was like, geez, it's too bad I've got an ear infection. Guess I'm gonna have to take the excellent banana medicine. Yum yum treats. This is normal. Oh man, Katie says things have to taste a certain way. I get that. And adding ice/water does not always improve the taste. I do find, yeah, I get what you mean with regard to, like, certain things being watered down. When you get, like, an iced latte and you drink it too slowly, and at the end it's just, like, it's, like, coffee milk flavored water. That's not the good part of it, you know? Because I tend to eat and drink fairly slowly, so I will, like, nurse a beverage I'll have 3 beverages at a time, but I'll nurse them over the course of, like, 6 hours. So if anything has ice into it, I have to factor in, I want this to taste the way that it tastes when the ice has melted into it, otherwise it's gonna be, like, wrong to me. But yeah. Anywho, catching up with chat again. B says, my stepdad was Puerto Rican and my childhood cough syrup was rum. Ooh, delightful. Similarly, actually, my grandfather was Hungarian, and it wasn't cough syrup, but it was very much like, if you had any problem, brandy. It's like, I was visiting my grandparents just after I'd gotten my ears pierced, and you were supposed to put, like, rubbing alcohol in it, supposedly, to, like, keep it from getting infected. And he was like, okay, well, we don't have any rubbing alcohol. I will use brandy. And he just put brandy on it instead. It was, oh man, I love my grandpa. He was such a good man. He was delightful. Made his own smoked sausage. Which occasionally made their basement smell like very strongly of smoke for a long period of time after, but oh my god, it was the most delicious thing. I don't eat meat anymore, but I still, like, sometimes dream of the amazing, like, Hungarian, like, you know, sort of charcuterie that this man just made. Incredible. He also tried making his own wine. I did not experience any of this because I was, you know, like, I was 10 when he passed away or thereabouts. But he made really good charcuterie. Let's put it that way. Anyways, but yeah, Advent says the sugar-free Red Bulls are less syrupy to me, but if you don't like the original, I don't know if I would recommend it. I don't like the original flavor, I don't think, but I also haven't had any of the other flavors to know how they compare. I tend to go more for sports drinks than energy drinks if I'm having a specialty drink, though. Or these days, millennial soda that has fiber added to it, because I love being regular. Regularity. You gotta love it. Oh no. Katie says, I've been encouraged to cut my fruit juice with water, and I'd rather not, thanks, Doc. Aw, jeez. I mean, I guess the other solution to that is just have a smaller serving of fruit juice and also a glass of water separately at separate times, so you're technically consuming the same material, just not in concert in the same glass with one another. Like, if you wanted to go that way, I guess that would work. Yeah, B says we'd get a quarter shot of rum when we were sick. Rum still tastes like medicine to me. I believe it. Admin says, I didn't know you didn't eat meat, Rad. Yeah. Pretty much my whole adult life. B says, we have soda with probiotics instead of fiber here. Bougie soft drinks. Bougie soft drinks. I've actually got another one that is probiotics and added fiber, so it's just all things good for your tummy, and it's also rhubarb flavored, and it slaps, and it's so expensive that I only buy it when it's on sale because woof. Anyways, but yeah, Advent's Red Bull flavors, very, very much so. I do think if you don't like one another, could still be good for you, but they're a little expensive. Yeah. I try to be a cheapskate, but then I also buy bougie millennial soda, so. Yay. Oh, I'm never paying off my credit card debt. It's not even that big. Anyways, I just buy millennial sodas, and that's why I don't have a mortgage. Do you remember that whole thing, speaking of millennial soda, do you remember that whole thing about, like, oh, you know, like, you're too busy buying avocados so you can't afford to buy a house? I'm like, I don't know how to explain to you how, like, this scale of economics here is not mathing, you know? It's like, yeah, if I'm like, okay, I will never in my lifetime be able to save up enough to put a down payment on a house in the place where I am able to live. So I might as well go on a 3-day holiday to Germany once a year. Like, and listen, I feel guilty. I feel so guilty for doing things like going on a 3-day holiday. Consider the fact that my moderator / spouse and I would say, are in at least as good as or better financially of a position in terms of, like, our careers and stuff, like day jobs, than my parents would have been at our ages. Plus, they had 2 kids, and they were able to do way more stuff. Like, own a house, and go, like, on a week-long camping trip wherever, and we're like, well, I'm gonna feel bad about it, but let's go to London for 2 days. Ridiculous. Anyways, this stream is supposed to be cozy, and inevitably it just turns into, like, just bitching about the economy. I'm sorry. Anyways, Katie says, with regard to the rum thing, sounds like a one way to keep the kids out of the stash as they grow up associated with medicine. Yep. I hate alcohol, says Edward, but there are a variety of mixed drinks makes me want to get really good at mocktails. You know, this is actually a real, like, mild complaint of mine, is because I'm not a big alcohol drinker. I've never been a big alcohol drinker, and in general, a big part of the reason that I don't drink alcohol is, well, I don't like the way that it makes my body feel because it makes me queasy, and it has other bad effects on my digestive system, and I'll get a headache before I start feeling silly, right? Who cares? So, and it's also expensive, so I may as well just not drink alcohols and save my money. The problem for me is when you go out to a bar and everyone else has these like super fancy mixed drinks where they're putting different like aromas and interesting things together, and oh, it's got honey lavender syrup and, you know, with elderflower fizz and some kind of gin, and it's like everything except the gin sounds so nice. And then you're like, okay, well, what kind of non-alcoholic drinks do they have? And they've got like Fentimans Cola, ginger ale, orange juice. Fuck you, you know? It's like, come on. Please listen, I will pay cocktail money to have one fancy drink that comes with a little paper umbrella and has like, you know, is garnished with a blackberry. Like, come on. Come on, give me something. It just makes me so sad. So yeah, mocktails, I'm here for it, Advin. I think you should do that. Advin says, I never heard bitching about the economy sound so satisfying to talk about. Yay! Well, glad to be of service then. Alcohol makes me feel like I'm being poisoned, says Bees. I mean, you are on a very sort of like, hopefully microdose level, but, you know, sometimes. Coffee, says Bees. Always coffee at the bar. Coffee's good. If they do coffee, then yay. They don't always do coffee. Sometimes when they do coffee, it's really bad. But anyway. Advent says, I have a high tolerance, so it's super expensive to get drunk and I don't like the feeling much anyways. Yeah, pass. This is an interesting thing. It seems like it was like such a big to-doozy when I was like a young adult, you know, going out and do the drinkage and stuff. I remember when I was at university and there were so many like of my peers that I did not that I didn't really, what's the word I'm looking for, relate to very well, because every conversation outside of like the context of class was things we did last time we drank a bunch, or when do we plan to drink a bunch again? That's it. It's like, do you have any personality while sober? That's not to say that drinking is bad. Sometimes it's fun, and if you enjoy it, I'm so happy for you. I know there was someone in the chat the other day who was talking about how they have like a collection of different types of gin. I think that's super interesting. I don't like them, but I think it's really interesting. There is a YouTube channel that I watch where he like makes cocktails and stuff, and I'm interested to learn about how these different flavors and the like botanicals and stuff that go into them interplay with each other and create different like new flavors and stuff. I think that's really, really cool. I think the science of it is very interesting. But like in the same way that I'll watch videos about like how to cook meats that I will never cook, you know? That's all. Anyways. Leaky says, especially when Seedlip do all the botanicals without the booze. Oh yeah, there's a bunch of like, I haven't tried any of them, so I can't speak to how good any of them are personally, but there's a bunch of like brands now that do effectively like non-alcoholic spirits. So it has all of like the, you know, it's got like, I don't know, the citrus peel and fennel seed and cinnamon, but it's not alcohol. But you can, you know, like add that to a tonic water and have an interesting beverage. I think that's really cool. And I think more bars that do interesting cocktails should have interesting cocktails that don't have alcohol in them. Hot take. I feel like it's a lukewarm take at this point. I would rather that than the like terrifyingly, again, probably way too sugary soda beverages that like Mormons have instead of alcohol. Which is a lot, and some of them have like 100 grams of sugar, which would make me feel incredibly bad. But yeah. Bea says, I don't drink anymore except for mimosas on Christmas morning. Oh my goodness, I have one drink at Christmas too. It's usually like half a bottle of cider. And there's like one cider that I like, and sometimes I forget to have it. B says, I do live in a legal cannabis state, though, and that's pretty nice. Nice, glad that. Love that for you. That was an interesting culture shock when I went to the last couple of times I've been to Ontario, actually. It's just that, like, every other retail... Okay, not last time, but the last time plus one, like the time before that, I went and, like, every other retail space was a cannabis shop. They were just everywhere. I was like, oh, this shop front looks... Oh, it's weed. Never mind. I'm like, oh, this shop looks weed. Oh, what's this new weed? It was like, is that ice cream? No, it's weed. And then, the last time we went back, it's like, oh... For rent. Oh, that one's closed too. Oh, that one's still open. Oh, that one's closed. I'm likewise not a weed enjoyer. It gives me headaches. Pass. Isn't crumble cookie a Mormon thing? Ah, again, the deeply unhealthy cookies. I mean, I don't know what it is they're putting in their cookies to make them as ridiculously unhealthy. I understand that they're quite large, so it seems like it's supposedly understandable, therefore, that like a quarter of a cookie is a serving. But who sits down, chomps a cookie into like 4 quadrants, and then eats a quadrant of the cookie and puts the other 3 quadrants away? Who does that? Who instead goes to Tesco, buys a thing of like 5 chocolate chunk cookies, and eats the said thing of 5 chocolate chunk cookies? Me, when chocolate chunk it didn't give me symptoms. Anyways, I don't know what happened to my voice there. I think I short-circuited slightly. But yeah, crumble cookie is a whole other thing. I think my ADHD makes me react weird to weed. Ooh, I'm wondering if that's why I didn't get along with it too, Adven. Because I did not get along with it. I tried CBD when it was like new and trending. I tried like a little bit of it from the health food store, because I'd been stressed and not having a great time sleeping, because this was like 2020, 2021, sometime around then when we were all having a terrible time. So I was like, oh, maybe this will help with sleep. Maybe I'll wake up feeling more refreshed. No, I was just the most depressed I've ever been for like 2 weeks, and then I stopped using it and I felt fine again. I am genuinely concerned about the fact that you can just buy sodies that have that in it at the supermarket. Like, that doesn't, considering how depressed a small amount made me, that doesn't feel safe. But I'm gonna guess that the amount that they put in, like, the CBD sodas is so negligible that it doesn't actually do anything and it's just marketing. I would imagine that that's the case. It must be, like, such a teeny tiny amount. But this is the problem with things when something new comes about and it turns out, oh, hey, this has an interesting effect on the brain. And it is, because it's new, it's, like, completely unregulated, so they just put it in whatever. No. No, that's bad. I don't want to do that. No, and I am not giving it to my doggy. But that's just me. And your mileage may vary. You may have done the research and actually know in exactly what, dosages it's safe to give your dog or whatever, so, like, go for it. Leaky says, I wonder if there's an overlap between bars that do unimaginative non-alcoholic cocktails and veggie dishes that feel like they just removed the meat. Ah, the classic, the one thing you can eat on the menu is the vegetable stir-fry. I've had so many vegetable stir-fries over the years. Ooh, Advent says, the only Christmas thing I do consistently is going to Waffle House. Oh, good old Waffle House. I've only been to one Waffle House in my life. It was at, like, 3:30 in the morning in middle of nowhere,
Attention.
Georgia.
Twitch user Sammy Kelsch.
Choppers.
You can imagine that was an experience that I'll save for another day. Hi, Raiders. Welcome in. Jam, hello. How are you doing? It's so good to see you. Welcome in, Raiders. I hope you are well. And welcome in. Jam, how was your stream? What'd you get up to today? I hope that it was a good time. I hope you enjoyed doing your painting. And yes, hello. It was a good flower. What I got to see of it earlier. Pine cone. Hello. Ooh, French fries. Man, I want fries now. Anyways, Curve, hello, welcome in. hello to, chat is escaping me. Hello to Curve and Kirsty and Jam, of course. Hello, Mythical Myra. Hello, Al Pudding. Hello, Clever Devling. Hello, And welcome in. I hope you are all well. Jam's stream was good, painted things, chatted things. How are you? I am also good. I am uncomfortably warm, but I have 3 iced beverages to try and cool myself down. We've been talking about beverages of various kinds because I'm drinking one of these like millennial sodas that has like very low sugar and fiber added to it, and it's like my favorite thing, even though it's like, I don't know, probably cringe of me. I don't care. They're delicious. But yeah, let me get a shout out for Jam in the chat. I also have an iced coffee. It's just instant because I made a filter coffee earlier and the milk curdled in it. Hooray. Oh no, chatbot's broken. Oh no. I knew I was gonna forget something, and apparently it was chatbot. Let me actually shout you out, Jam. I'm so sorry. Y'all, if you're not following the lovely James B. Barrow, please go do so right there. Jam does amazing artworks. It's very fun to hang out with. A very cool, interesting person. And you're guaranteed to have some interesting, insightful, and very fun conversations if you do check out Jam's streams. And also get to look at some really interesting, beautiful art being made as well. As always, we are an art tax optional stream, so if there's anything you'd like to share with the chat, or if you want us to go creep on your blue sky or whatever, we'd be very happy to do that. But in the meantime, I guess I'll introduce myself. Hi! My name's Twitch user Sammy Kelch. I'm a variety streamer. I do cozy art streams on Mondays and Thursdays. These days it seems to be more cozy chat streams where we do a tiny amount of art. But I'm cool with that. And I'm currently working through Silksong on Friday mornings. And these 2 hamsters, historians would say that they were very, very good friends. I would say that they are in love. And they're having a nice little picnic, and we are painting it with this pastel shades watercolor set, which is really weird, but I do like the colors that I get out of it. So, hell yeah. Anyways, let me see if I can do another shout out for Jam, because I really think that you should go follow him. But also, this would be a good test to make sure that my chatbot is actually working now. Is it? Yay! I don't know why there was such a long delay between the chatbot actually doing its thing, but the chatbot is functional. Hurrah! But anyways, yeah, I hope you had a lovely stream, Jam, and thank you again so much for the raid, and hello and welcome to everybody, and oof. Yeah, the milk was bad. I also have a tea that is like a raspberry pineapple fruit tea situation that is also iced because, again, it's hotter than the depths of hell. I want to apologize profusely to everyone in chat for the latent sound of my fan just kind of humming away in the background today. I cannot help this because I am not switching. I am not thingy. I'm not switching it off because I'll die. Oh shoot, the link didn't work. I don't know how to enable it. I am bad streamer. Can you whisper it to me? I would very much like to share, but I'm also broken. It's life support, says Devlin. Yes, it's very much life support. Because otherwise I would undoubtedly be quite dead. This palette would make you think that I have done any painting yet today, and the answer to that is a resounding No, we're only 44 minutes into the stream. Are you kidding me? Okay, I've got a little linky do from the lovely Jam. I'm gonna do a little copy paste, and then we were gonna go take a little look-see at it. Thank you so much, Jam. I cannot wait to share because I know this is good. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. Do you like beautiful botanicals, chat? Because you should. Because you should. If you like beautiful botanicals rendered in absolutely lovely detail, you are going to like this. When I say this, I don't mean this, because this is my Instagram. Because the show and tell screen redirects to my Instagram, but thankfully I can open a second tab. I mean, here's Mr. O'Brien, but more importantly, this is Jam's beautiful painting. Look at the textures on this. It's so chef's kiss the way that you do textures, especially of like these beautiful little botanical pieces. I absolutely love. And I love I love what you've done with like the foliage and the, how shall I say, like the use of values here I think is really good as well. It's just really lovely. Admin says, don't worry, I can't hear your fan over my extremely loud AC. Okay, fantastic. But yes, please give Jam all the love. And please enjoy this beautiful, beautiful artwork. I love it so much. I love your flowers. They are so I can't think of a better word than just botanical, because that's what they are, but you just do such a good job of like rendering the feeling of looking at a beautiful flower. Rex is here. Hi Rex, thank you so much for the 3-stream steak. We are just waxing poetically with my inability to word correctly about how much I love the way that Jam paints flowers. Your flowers are really beautiful. This is really beautiful, and thank you so much for sharing it with us. I enjoy looking at it. So thank you. Once again. Jam is doing a little lurk. And, whoa! Have a lovely lurk, Jam! Thank you for the raid again. And, Rex!
Oh hell yeah, Artrex Gaming just subscribed. B-Raid. James48 Tumblebee, James48 Splat, James48 Tumblebee. We've left our hive to look at your beautiful art. James48 Tumblebee, James48 Splat.
Thank you so much for the sub, Rex. I really, really appreciate it. Please enjoy your emotes and stuff. And thank you for the James48 Tumblebee and James48 Splat. I love the way TTS reads out emotes. It's so delightful. Oh, thank you so much. That was lovely. I very appreciate it. I feel like I should probably get some new emotes in there again soon again. Because I did do a new emote not too long ago. But knowing me, it was actually a really long time ago, and my memory is just garbo. Maybe I should do some little gay hamster emotes. I don't know. I feel like I would love to do a little animation of the two little, like, our two little sapphic hamsters riding a bicycle or something, but I feel like that would read so poorly at such a tiny size. Unless it was like two emotes and they were like riding a tandem bicycle and one of them was and then the other one and you just sort of put them in order. I guess you could do that. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about this because I'm giving myself ideas. Hi Eva, welcome in. It's lovely to see you. Welcome. I hope you are well. I'm gonna actually try and paint. I think that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna actually do some attempted painting. Wish me luck. But yeah, how is everyone doing? How have you been? How are you? I hope you're having the loveliest of lovely, lovely days. I'm gonna interrogate whether or not there's actually paint water in this. There is. Okay, good. And I'm actually gonna pick up a little bit of paint. Because I think the little sort of waistband belt really wants to match the little secret pants that this lady is wearing. So I'm just going to carefully color that in. I mean, what is painting if not a very sophisticated version of the coloring in of things that we used to do as very small children? Don't talk about your ages, chat. I say very sophisticated and then there's me. Are you sure? Anyways, hoping to be getting some, like, you know, obviously, like, various shades of lilac, lavender, and pink are just pretty, but also I am hoping that having them sort of wearing these kinds of colors reflects a bit of a sapphic vibe as well. I'm hoping there's a bit of a lesbian flag gradient going on here, and obviously Violet's very, very, very sapphic as well. Anyways. Catching up with chat, because hamsters on bikes could be cool raid emotes. Oh, Advent, that's so good. Oh, damn, I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna have to do this now, for sure. Okay, this is happening. I will say, designing emotes is different to the way that I draw, like, my regular art, and it took me a really long time to figure this out, is that, like, the lines need to be chonkier, the detail needs to be minimal, because it needs to read as something when it's very, very small, so tricky. You know, they'd probably be in much less detailed outfits in order to read correctly at that scale. So, yeah, we shall see. Been making fig preserves all day. I'm now chilling with a piece of fig strudel. Oh, strudel! I love that for you. That sounds so good. I'm jelly of your jelly, says Advent. Yeah, me too. Harvested almost 8 kilograms today for our one tree. That's basically what we get every 3 days or so. So, yeah, but I love figs too. That's so many. But that is owning, like, a fruit-bearing tree, is that you get nothing for most of the year, and then you get like a couple of weeks where you just get bumper crops and you're trying to give them to like all of your friends, and they're like, oh man, I don't know what I'm gonna do with all these either. There have been times like on my walks where I've seen people have just put like baskets of apples outside like their front gardens with a big sign that just says free written in Sharpie, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, hell yeah, free apples, and I take them home and make a crumble. Delightful, but yeah. I love that tree like a third parent, says Eva. That's so sweet. That's so sweet, and I'm ever so slightly jealous. But yeah, that one photo that you sent to the Discord. I've got a Discord, by the way, in case anyone is not in it and wants to join. Of a branch of the fig tree where there were beetles enjoying the figs, but it was literally like a dozen beetles all eating one fig and leaving the rest of them alone, which is kind of ideal for you, but also, what are they doing? Oh, it's wild. Kakalakola, hi, welcome in. Oh, designing emotes can be tricky. Figuring out what details you don't want to show. Yes, exactly. And trying to figure out what details will actually read at that scale as well, I think is very challenging. Pinecone party. Also, hello, Did I say hi, Pinecone? Hi, Pinecone. Holy moly, that's a lot of things. We have a huge raspberry bush here, and I just made some jam yesterday. Oh, man, y'all, I'm so jealous. I get to eat raspberries in like increments of 150 grams at a time, and it costs me like £2 to buy that. So yeah, jelly. Yes, our fig is kind of nice. Says Aoife, since it really staggers the fruits quite nicely, but it also so big, it just gets bigger every year. Oh my goodness. Abundance though, abundance. So much jam, and you can dry them. Have dried fruits. Oh, so good. And make so many things with them. That's so nice. I would die for the people who share their abundant produce, says Advent. I saw those beetles. I love them. Very considerate. Their behavior is just so nice, says Aoife. Yeah, thank you. Considerate. That's the word I can. They're very polite. They're just like, we're just going to snack on this one. Thank you. I think it's a very lovely relationship. I think that's delightful. Anywho, also delightful is my delicious and instant coffee. I was so sad that I had to remake my coffee. I mean, and like I could have maybe done like maybe done another filter coffee, because I do still have plenty of coffee beans. I just didn't have time. So I didn't do it. I realized that I wanted to make one of these little laundry items back here kind of a bluish hue, and then I realized, is it going to blend into the sky if I do? So I've made it kind of a purplish, bluish purple. And I'm hoping that will be all right. I think it'll be all right once I add line weight. I think the value is quite different as well. So Aoife says, so today while climbing around in the tree, I noticed, it's not only those green beetles, there's wasps, hornets, and 3 types of beetle on that one fig. Oh my god! It's crazy, but it's also almost gone. They're gonna need to find a new communal fig soon. Just, honestly, this is such a beautiful story of, like, people from all different walks of life coming together to enjoy this communal snack. I love it! I feel like I want to read a children's book about this fig. And all of the different bugs from the garden all come to enjoy this one perfect fig. And they all take a big chomp and hang out with each other and put their differences aside to have a nice time. I just think that'd be really sweet. Evan says I've had really big caterpillars eating the leaves of my peppers lately. It sucks. Oh no! I'm sorry to hear that. But also, aw, caterpillars! Also, in light of the hornets and such, I avoided disturbing that whole branch, says Aoife. I value my life. Yeah, please stay safe, because some of those bugs might get angry. But yeah, that's so weird. Pinecone says James and the giant fig. That's wild. Guys, let's all travel to meet so we can all share one fig! Oh, that would be the weirdest party where I'll just It's just like 24 people all gathered around this single fig and we're just slicing. Are we all slicing it, or are we all trying to take like a teeny tiny chomp at once? Because I feel like slices might be a little bit more civil. I think all trying to chomp it at once would get a little bit chaotic since we're like human sized. Yeah, anyway. Oh, that's so cute though. Okay, so these, I still haven't fully settled on the names of these two, which is really bothering me. I can't remember what the other name that my moderator slash spouse came up with, because I think one of them wants to be Agnes, and I can't remember the I don't know what the other one should be. I was thinking possibly like Violet, but I'm like, that's too on the nose. That would have been a popular name at this point in the 19th century. Like, she could have been a Violet, but that just feels a little bit on the nose for like these little ladies. So I don't know. I'm kind of I'm very waffly about it currently. Okay. I want to just kind of fill in these windows. Oh boy. If anyone else just got jump scared by the ice cream van outside, I'm really sorry. Because that did in fact lightly jump scare me. I used to be genuinely like freaked out by ice cream vans. And I can kind of just ignore them now, thankfully. But they were a big like source of anxiety for me for many years. For weird, somewhat unrelated reasons that I won't go into. So I'm kind of glad that I managed to kind of just, I don't know, inadvertently exposure therapy myself out of that. Or maybe sometimes the brain just forgets. Anyways, I was wondering what that was. That was the ice cream van. It's one of those things where like the ice cream van zoops around my neighborhood, but it's like, is anyone running outside to buy ice cream? Like, this would be the time of year to do it if you did, but I feel like most, like, by the time I hear that it's happening, I'm not going to be able to like run out with my, with my wallet and my phone and my keys and chase them down and buy an ice cream, because they'll already be gone. The only time that I really hit up ice cream vans is like if there is an ice cream van just like parked in the park. I might be like, I could really go for some kind of ice cream situation. I'll get like a Magnum or something. Or a Calippo. Which one's Calippo? Calippo's the one that's just like, again, really syrupy, but it's like just sort of like a block of orange flavored ice that you squeeze out of a paper tube. I think that's Calippo, isn't it? Yeah. That's like if you want something fruity, you get a Calippo, and if you want something creamy, you get a Magnum. I can't have a Mr. Whippy because I can't have the cones anymore. This is tragic to me. I used to enjoy a Mr. Whippy. I like a nice soft serve ice cream. And I'm like, oh man, you know what that reminds me of? Back when I was some flavor of a youngin', my family and I would occasionally go to one of those like farms where you can pick your own fruit when it's in season, and we would go to pick strawberries, and we'd bring a little container of water so that we could like eat one of the strawberries as we went, because like if you're taking a 6-year-old to pick strawberries, obviously they're gonna want to eat one. So we did. But then afterwards we would take our strawberries up, and we would pay, because you pay like per punnet of strawberries. We would pay for our punnets of strawberries that we picked. And while we were there, they also had like various like sort of stuff that was made, they ready picked fruits and veg as well as things like pies and jams and frozen yogurt. They had a fresh frozen yogurt machine. They would take like a pre-portioned block of frozen yogurt, dump that into machine with a bunch of whatever fruit that you selected, and it would whip the whole thing up together in the machine, and they would pull this like big lever to get it to like swirl out like a delicious swirl of fresh frozen yogurt. And oh my god, it was the best. It was the best frozen yogurt, and it was the best ice cream because it was so fruity and tangy and not too I hate to say it, it wasn't too sweet. And I loved it so much. The only thing that's come close to it as an adult has been just like buying a punnet of strawberries, dumping them directly into the freezer, and then putting them in the food processor with like a pot of yogurt. That's the closest I've been able to get as an adult, which is also really, really good. Gazillion out of 10 do recommend. Though I'm not really, our food processor is kind of broken. But I feel like I just kind of get by without it. But yeah. Anyways, I've only gotten to buy an ice cream van once, says Advent. Yeah, back in the old country, they didn't really have vans so much as they had like, usually it was someone on a bike with a little like freezer chest behind them in a trailer. But yeah. Oh no, Advent. If an ad break is coming up, if you want to go do your tooths. Rex says that's New Zealand style according to the truck at the Ren Fair. Ooh, oh man, I miss Ren Fairs too. I used to go to the Ren when I was like a younger adult living in Canada. I went to the Ren Fair a few times, and it was always so much fun. It was so very much fun. I'd dress up, and I would go around and look at the vendors and watch the joust and have a little cup of mead, which is absolutely delicious. And we'd have snacks and sit in the shade under a tree and watch a glass blowing demonstration. They don't really do Ren Fairs here under the excuse that, well, we actually have history, so we don't need to like play fantasy at it. And I'm like, that's fine. But the thing is, Ren Fairs are fun. And so I miss them. That's all. Anyways, the ad break is happening in 10 seconds, so I'm going to disappear for a few minutes so that you don't miss anything and we can all have a little break. So I will see you very shortly after the break. And in the meantime, be right back, everybody. Hi, everyone. Sorry, I've just seen... I've just seen Aoife's message after the ad break, and she said, I basically just get the Twitch protection racket ads. I literally haven't seen an ad other than the Turbo ad for half a year now. I love the one... Have you ever had where it just doesn't show you anything? It's just like a basically static screen with a gradient and the Twitch logo, and it just says ad break in progress? But does it actually show you any ads? That ad's my favorite. Wait, the sunfish happened. Did somebody follow while I was on thingy? Or did you just see the sunfish emote in I don't okay, maybe the sunfish. I'm confusioned. Wait, there we go. Okay, I was looking. Oh, you were looking at the emotes. Okay, because the new follow alert is also the sunfish going for a swim, and I wanted to make sure that I didn't miss a new follower, because obviously, if there was a new follower, I would like to welcome them in. But in addition, did you know that a sunfish can release up to 300 million eggs when it spawns? That's a lot of eggs. That's 300 million. But don't worry, they're really small. They're like this big. So there you go. Egg fact. You're welcome. I need to compile some egg facts, so you get more egg facts on you. Because right now it's just that one egg fact. It just tells you a single fact, but it's a neat egg fact. I did know that because Hank Green made a video on them. Oh, thank you, Hank Green. I did sunfish research like quite a few years ago now for a panel program that I was on my friend Kirby's channel. Let me actually just hang on. Let me just double check Kirby's, because Kirby changed his username a little while ago, and I want to make sure that I get it right when I go to shout him out right now, because I think it's Kirby. Wait for it. Kirby. Oh, I'm following so many people. It's taking so long to get down to K. Oh no. Oh, something smells like unhappy electronics as well. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Should I be of a concern about that? I don't know. Anyways, where are you? This is such thrilling content. I know you are. Absolutely transfixed. Why can't I find them? Ah, shoot. I'm working on it, chat. I am working on it. There. Okay. Ah. There. I don't know why he wasn't showing up on my list, because I am following him. We are mutuals, and in fact, he says while Kirby's offline, check out me. Anyways, there's a link to friend of the channel Kirby. Do also check out his YouTube channel, where you can find, among other things, he's also done some. He does a lot of, if you like Souls-esque games, and a nice person, you should go follow Kirby, because he's great. And he also has done a couple of, like, RPG things on stream, and also little sort of, like, panel shows on stream, and those will be up on YouTube. And I was in a couple of them, and also some very other funny people have participated as well. So, gazillion out of 10, do recommend. That's what I was trying to get at. Anyways, that's pretty much when I discovered how much I love Sunfish. Because I did a bunch of research on Sunfish to present at this little panel show, and I was like, oh, Sunfish are great. I enjoy knowing these things, and here we are. All right, in the background for a bit there, I was working on trying to create a nice shade of straw hat for these ladies' little straw hats, and I think a reasonably pale straw is probably the right shout. What I want to make sure is that now the straw color is not dissimilar to hamster colors, so I want to make sure it's distinct enough from the shades of their actual fur. Also, I feel like this was like sticking to the surface just now, but it doesn't seem like there's nothing sticky on the thing. So the mat, that's what I was looking for. The mat is the name of it. Oh my god, I'm so tired. Anyways. But yeah. If you like hearing me wax humorously, straw hat like that anime I haven't seen. Oh, you mean the one with oh, what's it called? It's pronounced Luffy. Do you mean that one? I also, if you mean that one, it's One Piece, and I have also not seen One Piece, and I feel intimidated by seeing One Piece because there's so much of it. That it overwhelms me and feels like too much of a demand. My demand avoidance kicks in, and I continue to not watch it. This is a big thing for me, actually. Is like, I like, when it comes to, my sister and mother have seen every episode, says Advin. Wow, that is commitment. My goodness. When it comes to media where it feels like it's got a fairly high, like, bar for entry, I'm not sure if that's the word that I'm looking for, but you know what I mean. Like, it feels difficult and intimidating to get into, because there's some stuff where you just kind of get in on the ground floor and you just start, like, reading all the books or watching all the things, and you just continue keeping up with it as it goes on. And then there's things where you've already arrived, and there's, like, 500,000 books in this series, and you don't know whether, like, and then you mention to someone you know who's a fan, it's like, yeah, I'm thinking of starting this, I'm just gonna pick up the first book, and they're like, oh no, you can't do that. Okay, so what you have to do, and then they explain to you all the things that you have to do, like, in the order that you have to read it in, but ignore this one, but read this one, but bear in mind that this, that, and the other, and then read this one, but skip that one, and then read the next one, then go back to that one, because you'll have a better experience, and you're just like, this feels like too much work. This feels too difficult. I would like to just be able to start with number 1, and then continue in numerical order. Please and thank you. But that's, I don't know if One Piece is the kind of thing where you just start with, like, number 1 and then continue in numerical order, which is still daunting if there's a ton of it, but more fine. There was something, oh man, there was something recently that I was hearing about. It was a TV program, I think, or something, where there was, like, or was it, oh, what was it? But there was a fairly high barrier to, like, get into and stay into because the I think the second season of whatever this was referenced things that happened in a comic that was released between the first and second seasons, and like, I'm sorry, but not everybody's gonna have read that. You can't do that. It's like, but there are a lot of things like that where it's like, okay, so here's what you do. Watch season 1 and then don't go straight to season 2. I know the instinct is to go straight to season 2, but don't go straight to season 2. What you got to do is you got to watch season 1, and then you have to read this like supplementary novel that they wrote between season 1 and season 2, and then you have to read the comic that they wrote between the novel and season 2, and then you watch season 2, and then you watch season 3, and then you have to go to this specific bridge a distance outside of your hometown where you will find under the bridge a wizard whose name is Gerald, and he will ask you 3 riddles. If you answer the 3 riddles correctly, you should, and remember, you were supposed to be taking notes all throughout season 3 so you'd be able to answer these riddles. Once you've answered the 3 riddles, then he'll allow you to cross the bridge. On the other side of the bridge, go to the 3rd bush along the lake shore, and you will find an old CRT TV with a VHS player preloaded with a VHS tape. Take this home, watch the VHS tape, then watch the supplementary webcomic that they released between seasons 3 and 4, and then watch season 4. Anyways, I just can't get on side. If it's that complicated for me, I'm just gonna not watch the show. Katie says, "Oh God, please don't do me like that. I'll cry." Yeah, no. As much as like I am an admirer of the expanded universe sort of novels and comics and what have you of various media that I enjoy and have enjoyed over my life, like Doctor Who, Star Trek, Star Wars, whatever. It's all fun. I also think it has to be optional because most people aren't going to do that. There's a subset of your fandom who will read the novels and read the comics. It's got to be optional. You can tell it's optional because you can tell it's optional with Star Trek, because the other day I was looking up, okay, wait a second. So, spoilers for a show that ended before the year 2000, okay? Or was it in the year 2000? I don't know. Anyways, right around then. Almost 30 years ago, okay? Oh God, I feel so old. Anyways, so one of the characters at the very end of the series is expecting a baby. And the baby is not born before the end of the show. So we never meet the baby, we don't know the gender of the baby, and we don't know the baby's name. So I was like, I need to know this for Tomodachi Life reasons. Does it ever get mentioned in like one of the novels or something, what the baby's name is? And the answer is there's like 4 different... The baby, depending on who you ask, is either Rebecca or Sarah or Jonathan or Joseph, depending on which book you've read. So, it's Schrodinger's baby. Basically, doesn't matter. Anyways, Magnus Archives are Naruto with 200 episodes, not counting Shippuden with another 200. Damn! You lost me at Carrie CRT TV home, says Rex. I had you up to before that? My goodness. Cat Lacey, hi! Cat Lacey says, hi, I'm a little lurker. I have to say your description of that learning pass just made my day. I'm so grateful. Thank you. I'm glad to be of service. But yeah, also horrifying. But yeah, I am all here for expanded universe, but I'm also all here for you can ignore anything that happens in the expanded universe if you think that, any of the stories are stupid. I mean, you can ignore canon if you think it's stupid also. You can do, like, what the story's out there, you can just play with it. And I mean, if you're talking about doing like serious analysis of the text or discussing the text in like a serious way, and you just analyze it in ways that fundamentally ignores the actual text of the medium that you're doing a bad job. Like, undoubtedly, these things are not wholly subjective, but some interpretations are better than others. I know this because I have a whole literature degree about it, but, if you're watching a story and you're just like, I really hate that they did that thing, so I'm just gonna pretend that it ends the episode before that. Like, what's gonna happen? Is I don't know, like, is Ira Steven Bear gonna come to your house and thought police you about it? Is Rick Berman gonna, like, track you down while you're trying to, you know, buy melons at Tesco and be like, actually, Garrick was straight and he definitely wasn't having sex with the doctor. You know, like, no. Also, anyways, this got too personal. I love Tomodachi Life, says Advent. I'm having way too much fun with it. It's great. It's my favorite expanded universe of Deep Space Nine at the moment because I made a Tomodachi Life Island and all of the characters are from Deep Space Nine. Shut up. It's very cool of me. Quark keeps having a crush on Ezri, but Ezri also has a crush on Quark, and I'm trying to get them to not date each other, but I think it's just going to have to be inevitable that they're just going to have a crush on each other and leave it at that. Because they just really like each other for some reason. Which I think is really cute. But I was gonna make one of Quark's, like, canon love interests eventually as an Islander, and then Ezri's gonna feel really sad when he ends up marrying them. Oh no! Anyways. But yeah, Katie says emphasis on expanded. The core canon lore has to be available in the base content. Yeah, exactly. I wholeheartedly agree. I think that dropping, like, an Easter... Oh, I think it might have been to do with Doctor Who or something, but, like, dropping an Easter egg for the people who like that stuff. Like, there's a moment in a Doctor Who thing where they basically finally showed how like, Paul McGann's Doctor from the TV movie regenerated, and they have him, like, give a little monologue in which he mentions the names of a bunch of companions that he traveled with in the, like... not really canonical expanded universe audio drama series that is put out by like a different production studio who for some reason have just had permission to make Doctor Who stories for like 25 years. I don't understand it, but you know what, I'm happy for them. But yeah, he mentions the names of a bunch of people that he used to travel with. He's like, oh, Lucy and Charlie and, forgive me, those are the only names I remember. I've listened to a whole bunch of them. I used to subscribe to, like, a bunch of these, and I don't remember any of the characters' names, but I remember Lucy and Charlie. I don't think I listened to a lot of Lucy's ones, but I listened to all of Charlie's ones, and I loved her. I thought she was fantastic. She was voiced by the same lady who used to do the narrations for MasterChef. So I remember one time I was watching an episode of MasterChef, and I heard, "It's MasterChef," and I'm like, Charlie from Doctor Who? It's very funny. The UK has 4 actors. But yeah, if they just did like a mainline TV story that just, like, a wholesale references something that happened to Sylvester McCoy in one of the, like, audiobook adventures, that would just baffle 98% of the audience. Because even me, who was, like, a big devoted fan, did not listen to all of the audio adventures because they released, like, I don't know what they're up to these days, but at the you know, like, in the 2010s and stuff, they were releasing, like, 5 things a month, and I'm like, this is too much to keep up with and also pay for, because it gets really expensive. You used to have to buy all of them on CD. That was before my time, thankfully, but yeah, anyways. Adaptations are often risky because many don't do the source material justice, so you just have to consume the source material to get it anyway, says Advent. Like, the Avatar live action show, no hate here if anyone likes it. I think that's pretty par for the course when it comes to adaptation. Adapting something that was made specifically to suit a certain medium into another medium is really difficult, because if something was made to be a good book, there's going to be stuff in it, there's going to be aspects of, like, you know, sort of the interiority of characters that don't necessarily translate quite in the same way to a visual medium. You might need to, you know, you're going to have to make some changes to try and translate that into something that is visual as opposed to text. And that is, I think the most adaptation I've ever done was actually of a Doctor Who story. This was an unofficial project run by some acquaintances of mine at the time, some of whom were actually writing, like, expanded universe Doctor Who novels as parts of a job. But would all get together, take an episode of Doctor Who, namely a Christmas special, and would each be assigned a single chapter to adapt into, like, a novelization form, and then we would put them all together like some sort of weird, like, Mad Libs of a book. And it's all, you know, like a sequential adaptation of the same story, but the writing style changes with every chapter because it's written by a different person. It was a really weird experience. It was really fun to do, though. It was surprisingly easy and also surprisingly hard, because suddenly you're having to think about... I didn't have a copy of, like, the shooting script or anything, so I wasn't seeing, like, what the script writer had written in terms of directions of, like, here's the action that's happening, and also here's what the characters are thinking, which, you know, normally if you've read, like, a script for, you know, like a play or a TV program or something like that, they do have things in there to explain, like, here's what the character is thinking, here's what the character is doing, blah, 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 and then the actor interprets that, obviously. But it was really fun. I think I banged it out in the space of, like, 2 hours, though. So probably wasn't very good. But... Oh my goodness! Hi! Sammy, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in. Hello, hello, hello. It's very good to see you, and welcome in. How are you? How was your stream? What'd you get up to today? And welcome. Hello, everyone. Let me get a shout out for Sammy Ann in the chat. I hope you are well. It's so good to see you. How was your stream? What'd you get up to? And also, hello and welcome to anyone who's just coming on the raid. My name is Twitch user Sammy Kelch. I'm a variety streamer. I do cozy art streams on Mondays and Thursdays. I do cozy game streams on Fridays, and every once in a while on a Thursday if I'm feeling extra crispy. If I can figure out how to do it, I'm really tempted to do a Tomodachi Life stream on a Thursday and just try and recreate, like, some of the characters from my paintings in Tomodachi Life and make an extremely cursed island for them. I think that'd be really fun. We did a session called Noodling and Doodling. Oh my god, that sounds like so much fun! That sounds like so much fun. I hope you had an amazing time noodling and doodling. And as always, if there's anything you'd like to share, you can absolutely whisper a link in my direction. Whether that's what you were working on today, or if you want to share a link to your socials and we can look at what you've been working on there. Very happy to do whatever. Or if you just want to chill and whatever, it's also entirely up to you. If you're looking for love interests for Quark, says Katie, may I humbly suggest Grilka? I was thinking Grilka. Grilka's my favorite. I love Grilka. But also in terms of, like, people I feel like could be a good match in the long term for Quark, I think Grilka's a good choice. I think they're both independent enough that they can, like, go be managing, you know, he's managing, like, the bar business, she's managing being the head of a Klingon house, but, like, you know, they get together, like, you know, for, like, a week every month or so, and just, I don't know, do a bunch of umoks and hang out with each other, and they talk on Subspace every day and whatever, and just, like, respect each other. I think it would be a really cute relationship, and probably also him having to deal with Klingon stuff, very funny. Her having to deal with Ferengi stuff, very funny. I think they should do that. We can mosey on over to the Insta. I would love that. Anyways, yeah, we were talking about my Tomodachi Life Island, where all of the characters on the island, all of the villagers are characters from Deep Space Nine. But as Esri and Quark keep having crushes on each other, and I'm like, I don't know. This is gonna end in heartbreak. I don't know if I can genuinely suggest that Quezri would be, like, a good long-term choice, and I would feel, if they did get together and then broke up, I feel like I would feel incredibly sad for them, because they would feel so sad. Hello, Huggy Bear, welcome in, it's lovely to see you. Hello, hello, hello. Yes, I love Grilka. Anyways, I actually just watched the episode in which she first appears, and I just love her. I think she's fantastic. She's gorgeous, and so funny. But anyways, yes, we're gonna take a look at some of Sammy Ann's art, which I can do because I remember how to do that. Anyways, if you're not following Sammy Ann, you should just have I shouted? I did shout out Sammy Ann. Okay, good. Thank you again for the raid. I really appreciate it. Let me fire up the old Instagram so we can go take a look at your artwork. If I can spell correctly. I can't speak while typing and spell things correctly. Like, my brain is simply incapable of doing both of these things. Oh my goodness. I haven't been on Instagram enough lately, and I've been missing some things because I had not seen this before, and oh my god, I love this. Okay, so first of all, Sorry. This is me, because it redirects to moi first. I'm sorry. This is me. This is not me. This is Miles. Speaking of Deep Space Nine, I do things that aren't Deep Space Nine. I do things. Not Deep Space Nine, but Bro Jehovah, welcome in. Lovely to see you. Hello. But yeah, this is the most recent artwork that I posted. Yeah. Oh, Brian. That is specifically for any Australians in the chat. I'm so sorry, or you're welcome. But yes, this is Sammy Ann's art, more importantly, and is doing some absolutely adorable artwork. I love this lady so much. I love her so much. She is apparently the village matchmaker, and she is so stinking cute. She will help you find your match, whether for love, for power, but mostly for the betterment of the village. Oh, she's so cute. She's so cute. I love her so much. She has an absolutely adorable energy. She mildly intimidates me, but I feel like she's gonna get the job done and do it very well. Yeah, I thoroughly love this lady. Also, I have missed so much because I haven't been on Instagram. Y'all, how did I not see this little Psyduck? Oh, there's just Psyduck seems to go through so much. And I'm so happy to see that they're having a nice time, and I love your design with this tea. Okay, y'all, please notice, because I adore this detail here. Also, this was painted with tea, which I'm chef's kiss. Please notice that the little pattern on the teacup, the little ornate patterning, is in fact little Pokeballs. It's a bunch of little I'm punching the desk because it's so cute. Oh my god, that's adorable. Here's another Psyduck. Oh, also painted in tea, looking at a Pokeball, wondering exactly what they are seeing. Oh, bless. I love them so much. I love them with my whole heart. Again, if you like whimsy, if you like Pokemon, if you like fantasy stuff and dragons and all kinds of cool, cute things, please go give Sammy Ann a follow. Here on Twitch, obviously Sammy Ann Art, and the same username over on Instagram as well, where you can see lots and lots of paintings, some of which are made with tea, which is really rad as heck, and I love it. That's such a cool concept, and you do it so well. It's such a neat thing to do. This part is important. Sammy's art is why we are here, says Sammy Ann. Aw, jeez. Thank you. Yeah, size tea. Yeah, it's so cute. Psyduck is one of my favorites, says Advent. Psyduck is really cute. The desk pounding my heart. Thank you, Sammy. Of course. Thank you so much for a raid again, and thank you for sharing your beautiful artwork with us. You know how much I love looking at it. But yeah, where was I? These hamsters. It is somewhere towards the end of the 19th century, in case you were curious. Probably, I don't know, maybe like the 1880s or so. These hamsters are living in this little cottage at the top of a little hill and having a lovely time. They like to go on bicycle journeys and write letters to each other when they're apart. And currently they're going on a picnic, and they are holding hands. And historians would say that they were very good friends. They never married, but shared a house together for the rest of their lives and lived happily ever after. Huh. That's interesting. I wish I could just have like a massive rainbow fade in over the screen right now. 'Cause yeah, these hamsters be sapphic. They is in love with each other. They are, how shall I say? I don't know if I can say this because TOS, but anyways. I have painted with tea, says Edwin. Oh, nice. Staining history papers in middle school to make them look old. Ah, sweet. Yes. I have tea stained things. It's very fun. I think I've done it with, I think I tried to do it, with fabric before. Surprised it isn't a rainbow during sunset, says Advent. Aw. I mean, I could put a big rainbow in the sky, but I have done that before. With a painting of gnomes. But I too have tea stained things, mostly not on purpose. Oh yeah, like I've tea stained, you know, a light colored top. Not on purpose. This top is weirdly unstained considering it's an at-home shirt for me. This isn't a very expensive at-home shirt because I bought it from Toast. If you're not familiar with Toast, they are a brand that do they do, I think, almost exclusively natural fibers that they work with, which I, as an enjoyer of natural fibers and a person who doesn't really like using polyester and that kind of thing when I can avoid it, I really appreciate. But with that being said, their clothes, I feel, are by and large designed in terms of silhouette exclusively for tall, willowy people. Like, if you're 5'10" and have basically, like, zero curvature to your body, you're gonna look real good in their designs. If you are me, 5 feet tall, and have, like, a waist and bosoms, you're gonna look like you're wearing a very expensive baggy sack. Now, I probably bought this when it was on sale, so it probably would have been, you know, like, regular price £60, and I would have paid $30. It's a beautiful cotton linen blend. It's very soft and comfortable, but it does make me look like I'm wearing a striped baggy sack. So I wear it in the house on hot days. 'Cause I hate the way it makes me look. So I've stopped trying to shop at Toast because their clothes are just not designed to flatter my body, and that's fine, because I'm sure there are people out there who are like, man, I'm an absolute beanpole, and too many of these clothes are designed for people who have more curves than I am, and I'm too tall to wear most of the things. And then, you know, they're like 5'10", 0%, like, curvature self can go to Toast and be like, wow, these outfits make me feel so elegant. I look like I could be shopping at the Whole Foods Express in Holland Park. You know what I mean? I did once shop at the Whole Foods Express, and was it Holland Park or Notting Hill? I think it might have been Notting Hill, actually. But still, like, those kinds of, if you're familiar with London, those kinds of neighborhoods, that's where people who shop at Toast live, I feel, if they live in a big city. I went to the Whole Foods in, I think it was Notting Hill, and I purchased a single carton of coconut water because, it was really hot and I was thirsty. It was there. Yeah, anyways. Sammy Ann says, if you want to save the planet and look like this. Yeah, you get it. As a 5'10" no curvature person, says Advent, I wish we had Toast. I would say that you maybe do, but also be warned, it's very expensive. And I don't always feel like it's value for money, in as much as I've seen things from them where I'm like, this costs £360, and it has like a stripe pattern, and where the seams meet, like, the pattern hasn't been matched, you know? Like, they'll do, if you've ever seen, like, a stripe, I think you can get such a really cool effect when you take, like, a striped fabric and you put it onto, like, the diagonal, and you have two pieces meet, like, in front on the diagonal, and so the stripes are meeting in this, like, really cool sort of, like, chevron-y type situation. That's really cool. But you have to be super careful about lining the fabric up correctly so that the different stripes meet each other at exactly the right point. Otherwise, you end up with this weird offset, and it looks cheap and bad. So, I don't know if Toast is in America, but I know it ships to America. I don't know, and they did have a big clearance on sale on recently, but I don't know whether or not it's still on. I am reopening a tab so I can tell you whether or not they still have a sale on. And be forewarned, everything is still expensive, even if the... No, I think the sale just ended! Ah, shoot. Well, never mind then, I'm sorry. They ship worldwide but are located in the UK, says Sammy Ann. Yeah, if you look up just, like, Toast clothing, you'll find them. If they do have, like, one shop in America, it'll probably be in, like, New York, let's be real. But yeah, it is for tall for tall willowy people. That's toast. Um, and I mean they do it well. I get sucked in to the sales for like years. And then would like never buy any. And then one time there's one garment that's like sitting in my wardrobe that I've never worn because like I'm used to their clothing kind of being meant to be kind of oversized, but I'm also fat. And it just fits so weirdly on my body that like I need to make adjustments to it in order to wear it. But because of the way it's constructed, I have no idea how to like modify the garment to make it be something that I would actually want to wear that looks not bad. Anyways, I'm tall, not willowy. It must be nice being able to reach things on top shelves. And in that case, toast may or may not work for you. I don't know. It doesn't work for me because I am very small. But yeah. Anyways, so this is a non-endorsement for that clothing manufacturer, I guess. But not like a full non-endorsement, but more just it wasn't made for me specifically, and that's fine. They have stores in New England and California, says Advent. Honestly, that tracks with regard to their vibe. Yes. I don't know. If I'm gonna shell out like sums for an investment garment, which I have done, that's made out of like linen and stuff, and feel like it's actually going to look good on my body, I do like Sondeflor. I think that their garments, I think, suit a wider range of body types, and they're also very size inclusive. I have a taller individual for that. Shelves still elude me from places, says Sarian. Aw, heck. Well, at least you've got someone else even taller to do that for you. Listen, if I were anywhere nearby, I would happily volunteer to get things off of the bottom shelf for you both. My mini-me, aka Mixed Rainbows, my kiddo, is now taller than I am. Oh my goodness, what is time? Sunrise, sunset. Anyways, I'm in the Southwest, so I don't have as many cool stores as Advent. Yeah, I feel. I have a lot of, like, reasonably good. I mean, we have a toast store here in London, but, not London, Oxford. I live in Oxford. What am I doing? My brain is broken. But, I don't really shop there because I look at all the clothes and I'm like, this is so beautiful, and I'm like, am I gonna spend more money than I have on a garment and have it not fit me correctly? And the answer is, I will buy something that I know isn't going to fit me correctly from Sondeflor, but that's because I find their garments really easy to make, like, adaptations to if I need to, like, tailor, because I'm short. A lot of the times, like, a dress will be too long in, like, the torso, or, like, the bit between, like, sort of, like, the top of your shoulder and, like, your chest. That I always need to take in, because I guess my shoulder area is really short. So I'm just used to that, but that's fairly easy to do, so that's not a problem. But if it's just fully the wrong shape for your body, then... Anyways, I'll be back in just a second. My moderator / spouse is here, and I want to say hello. Hi, baby. Hi. Hi. Get sweaty. How was your...
I took my shorts and t-shirt off.
Yeah, you did.
And then decided I couldn't go to church.
Should you have done that?
No, because it means I would have missed the bus if I'd done that.
Okay, then no.
Also, it wasn't that bad on my way.
Okay, good. Well, welcome home. I love you. I'm glad you're here.
That's fair enough.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know what the rest of the week holds in store. It keeps kind of going back and forth. So I don't know what I'm doing this week, which is really frustrating because I want to know. But... Yay. Yeah. Did you get something exciting? Is it more hammers? Oh, I love you. Hi everybody, I'm back. I don't know how much of our mundane how was your day chit chat y'all heard, but there was a bit of it. Advent says, with pots, people getting stuff from the bottom shelf is an underrated help. It is, you know, like, listen, I get it. I get it. And it's one of the things that I'm very glad to still be able to. There will, I'm sure, come some point in my life when I'm struggling to get things off the bottom shelf, even though I'm 5 feet tall. So, like, I get it. I'm happy to do it whilst I can. Anyways, Sammy Ann says hi, babe.
Sorry?
Sammy Ann in chat says hello.
Hello.
He says hello. Katie says, opening a clothing site and coming face to face with slubby cotton linens, rich palettes, and reimagined prints emerge in quiet harmony.
New limited edition blue raspberry fight milk makes you almost as cool as Hornet.
Oh my goodness gracious. Thank you so much, Sammy Ann, for the blue raspberry fight milk. I appreciate it. I'm going to indeed take a sip of my beverage as well. It's coffee flavored fight milk, but it's still pretty dang delicious, though I'll never be as cool as Hornet, let's be real. But thank you very much for this, Dicky. Yum. Anyways, shall I? I feel like I'm just making tiny amounts of like shades of brown and then coloring things in with them. But I want to do the, our poor little hamsters are looking incredibly pale. Which may have been the style at the time for like ladies and okay, fine, I'll bup. I get it. Okay, fine. Thank you. Thank you very much for the bup. I appreciate it. Sorry to interrupt. Thank you. Hi, Hornet. Silliness. Anyways, I'm sure I had a point, but I've completely forgotten it. I don't know if now is a good time or place to do it, but I do at some point, eventually, kind of, sort of, a little bit, want to solicit some opinions about something that I want to do. Oh, my song! Hello, welcome in. It's lovely to see you. Welcome. They were delightful. I needed to slap the stickers. I'm gonna give Hornet some scritches. Oh, she's run away. Maybe she didn't want scritches after all. Never mind. What was my point? I did have one. Oh yeah, I wanted to solicit some opinions. So I went to the good people of Mastodon thinking, you know where a lot of bookish people are going to be? Mastodon. Mastodon seems like the place to try and ask this question. Because I'm doing, so I recently updated my shop with some stuff. Which you can see here. But one of the things that I have planned for at some point in the future, I want to do some little, like, ex libris stickers for people to put in their books so that, with, like, a little space for putting your name down to say, from the library of me, this book belongs to kind of thing. And I've got a couple of ideas for little designs that I'd love to do as a little ex libris situation, and I was trying to ask, would people rather buy them, like, as a single unit, like just get one, or would they rather get like a sheet of like 6 to 8 of them, or would they rather just buy like a pack of like a bunch of individual ones? And the answers that I got on Mastodon were super unhelpful. Just a lot of people being like, well, I don't really read physical books, so I wouldn't buy any of them. It's like, you're not the target audience for this poll. But thanks, I guess. I got quite a few of, I would not use those. Okay. Anyone who would use those, what would you prefer? Can someone explain the difference between sneakers and plimsolls? I don't know, Katie. Now that you mention it, I have absolutely no idea. Is that just a bit of regional term? Ah, geez, I'm gonna have to look, because I've seen plimsolls. But I don't really... I mean, here in the UK, they call sneakers trainers, unhelpfully. But I don't really understand... I don't know what the... Okay, I'm trying to Google, like, plimsolls versus trainers. And... there is absolutely no explanation here. Like, this British person is asking, why were we wearing plimsolls in PE, which is gym class for North Americans, when trainers existed? Okay, but what's the difference between a plimsoll? Okay, they also call it a gym shoe or a sand shoe, according to Wikipedia, it's a light sports shoe with a canvas upper and flat rubber sole. So I guess, I don't know, do you, like, hear someone wearing what I would just call these, like, I would have just called these, like, trainers, honestly. But I guess are trainers considered, like, the more athletic look, like, properly athletic looking ones? Like, Keds, says Pinecone. Yeah! But I am confusion. I don't, unless trainers are really just, like, the more sort of athletic-y ones that, you know, look like the sort of Nike swoosh type gubbins. I just don't know. Katie is still prowling toast. That's why we found plimsolls, I assume. Is there any way to buy a digital version of your books, says Advent? Not currently, but I mean, that's an idea. That's a good idea. I should put them up as just like a PDF for like super cheap. If I can find the original PDFs of the books, which I don't know whether or not I have, or if I do, they're probably really low quality because they're really old. But if I find them, that's actually a really good idea because, yeah, they, I don't know, oh god, the books. I mean, the books are still there because I got a ton of copies printed. But the art is so old now that I just look at it and I'm like, oh no. Oh no, it's embarrassing because the art's really old, but I will tell you that the recipes slap. 100% for sure. So yeah, I could attempt to do that for sure. It would be less expensive because it's not a physical copy. But that's a really good idea. Thank you for giving me that idea. I will look into it. I like the option of one or a sheet, but like I definitely use them. And oh no, chat's jumped around. With regard to the ex libris, I assume. But I use them in my sketchbooks more than my book books. I'm too frequently trading my books for other books. That's very fair too. If your books are transient, then that makes sense. But also, I love the idea of putting a little ex libris label in your sketchbook. That's really cute. I love that so much. Anyways, I have two design ideas. One that is more ornithological and one that is more rainine, and that's as much as I'm going to say until I'm actually working on them. But yes. Rex says those look like sneakers as an American, whereas trainers are like US tennis shoes. Yeah, I guess yeah. Thank you, Rex. They don't look like the best option for PE either way. But, if your books are trans, my books aren't overtly trans, or at least I did have a book that I didn't end up finishing writing where, it wasn't really within the text itself, but I did headcanon one of the characters as being trans, but I didn't actually ever finish that book. So, apologies for that. It kind of fell off, and now, again, the artwork is like 10 years old, and I'm like, oh no. I'd need to redo all of the art if I were to actually ever put that book out. And probably redo a whole bunch of the recipes, because I can't eat at least one of the ingredients in them anymore. Yay! Anyways, yes, Sammy says, raised his eyebrow. Intrigued. Okay, I'm off to eat. Have a great stream. I'll peek in once I'm settled. Have yourself a lovely
Attention.
meal. Thank you
Twitch
again.
user Sammy
Ripley!
Couch.
Choppers.
Hello! Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome on in. How are you doing? It is lovely to see you and welcome. Y'all, what were you up to today? How was your stream? Let me get a shout out for you in the chat. If you're not following Ripley, you can go do that right now, right here. There should be a link in the chat. Yay! There's a link in the chat. I did it correctly. Anyways, how was your stream? What were you up to? Were you making anything? If you were, you know this is an art tax optional stream, and you're very welcome to share a whispered link into my whispers if you would like, and I'd be very happy to share it with the chat. Panther Draws, hello, welcome in. So Lyra, hello, welcome. I hope you had a lovely stream, and I hope you're having a lovely day. Riz Real Hopper, hello, welcome in. Mushies are raiding for the Weird Woodland. We bring you good vibes from the cabin. Oh, thank you so much. I very much appreciate it, and I hope that I'm able to provide some good vibes in return. Welcome in. Mushies have spoken and wanted to come see you paint. Oh, thank you, Ripley. I appreciate it. I haven't gotten much done today, but I will try and get some more painting done in the last chunk of the stream just for y'all. But if anyone's new here and isn't familiar with my oeuvre, my name's Twitch user Sammy Kelch. I'm a variety streamer. I do cozy art streams on Mondays and most Thursdays. I do cozy game streams on Fridays, and very once in a while on a Thursday if I'm feeling extra crispy. I'm feeling normal crispy this week, so we are working on this painting of these two little hamsters who love each other very much and live in this little cottage, and historians would say that they're very good friends, but we know that they are very, very, very good friends. They're gay. Anyways. Rizzy says, love your little watercolor PNG tuber, so cute and fun. Oh, thank you, that's me, and that's exactly what I look like when I'm streaming, posture and all. But thank you very much indeed. And yes, Ripley, if there's anything that you would like to share with the chat, whether it's what you are working on or a link to one of your socials, we would be more than happy to receive a whisper of that. But if not, and you just want to chill, that is also entirely fine. It's up to you. In case anyone's wondering what my artwork looks like when it's done, I can give you a little demonstration, if I can find it. Oh my goodness, Rizzy, thank you so much for the follow. Thank you. I hope that you are having a lovely day, and welcome on in. Thank you. Appreciate it. Will chill, says Ripley. That is very, very valid. In case anyone's wondering what my artwork looks like when it's done, I haven't posted as much of... Actually, I posted an old picnic piece recently that I had forgotten about. So here's some more picnic, also painted in the same paint palette I'm working on today. Man, I'm so predictable. Apparently I've just done this before with gnomes, and today I'm doing a similar concept but with hamsters, as you do. I feel like the scale of these characters is very confusing, because if you see over on the right here, on the right-hand side, that's a strawberry. That's a little strawberry, which implies that these gnomes are actually pretty teeny tiny. However, if you see these, I don't know if these little guys are to scale with humans, or the same size as like the gnomes. I just don't know. Was that a Mola Mola follower art? Yes, it was. Yes. Oh, my socks are so cute. I love the colors. Oh, thank you. I'm going to be watercoloring in parallel with you, says Oh My Song. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much for arting along. That is a huge compliment, and also something I love doing with my friends' art streams. It's your world, your scale, says Ripley. Hell yeah. You know what? You're right, damn it. Let me get another shout out for Ripley in the chat if you're not following. If you're not following Ripley, I cannot type and speak at the same time, or both of them will not work correctly. So I have to parse them out one at a time, and then things seem to work a little bit better. But if you're not following Ripley, you can do so at the link in the chat right now, and I very much recommend that you do so if you like having a nice time. Gazillion out of 10 do recommend. And thank you so much again for the raid. I do appreciate it. At some point in the past, I was going through pictures on my phone trying to find it. So, Lyra, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome on in. Rizzy says, I do have to lurk around and try to get some stuff done as well. Thank you for streaming your lovely art making. Thank you so much for the follow, and thank you for stopping in. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you. I am going through the pictures on my phone trying to find... I know they're in here somewhere. Another painting of these two, so that I have a reference for what color their fur is, because I want to be relatively consistent about making sure that their fur is the right color. So here they are on a different day in a different outfit, still having a really nice time. They are indeed riding a bicycle together, because why not? Yes. Aw, thank you, friends. I appreciate the kind words. Okay. So, I'm going to take a little bit of this sort of brownish blobbit that we have here. I'm going to add a little bit more of my... So this is the pastel shade set from Derwent. It's a weird set of paints. They're nominally, these are... Okay, my phone just landed on my foot. That could have gone better. But, nominally they're watercolors. But as watercolors go, they are a little bit unusual in my experience. In as much as, like, I've got these watercolor pans here, and you can see there's, like, a little bit of sheen to the surface, and they're almost a little bit, like, not sticky, but not tacky even, but there is a little bit of, like, a mild squishiness to them, right? And that would be, you know, sort of the binder holding the pigments together is a little bit gummy. It's, in fact, it is bound with gum arabic, so, you know, it would make sense that there's a little bit of a sheen and kind of a gumminess to it. They're solid, but, you know, you can kind of feel these chalky, dry as a bone. They feel like nothing comes off when you, like, rub it with your fingertip or anything like that. It's not like an eyeshadow palette, but they are still, like, super dry, super matte. And if I dropped a little bit of water on this to, like, activate the paint, the water would kind of, like, sit on there and mix with the paint and just make a little bit of sort of wet paint that you could pick up with your brush. These, I put a drop of water on it and it just soaks in. I don't know what the binder on these is, or what kind of binder they use, or how much binder, but they are bone dry. It's so bizarre. It's really weird. I do like these paints for this specific purpose, especially when I want to get a real sort of, like, pastel-y vibe. But my god, they're so dry! They're so dry, any amount of moisture that like, looks at them just disappears into it. I'm gonna see if I can just get this. So I'm adding a bit more of what is called, this color is called Storm Gray, but to me it's just brown. To me that is just like a taupish brown. I don't know how brown it reads on screen, but it's brown. That is brown to me. Anyways. So I'm mixing it with this, with the brown that I've got on the palette to try and make some kind of midpoint between the two, to paint in our little this lady who's got that sort of, that really cute patterning to her fur where it's like this. So it's not all the same color. And I just think that that's so stinking cute. It kind of comes down almost as far as her nose. And then it kind of goes back. And then I'm going to have to, I'm going to have to hurry this way up, because we are about to go to ads. And I am not painting while we're on break, because I don't want anyone who isn't subbed to miss anything. So we're all going to take a little break together. And then we will come back afterwards. So, well, I have very quickly finally done a little bit of painting, and that feels really good. And now we're going to take a little break. You're not going to miss anything. Fine, the stream gets transferred as we go. Hell yeah, trans rights. It's ad time, so I'm going to BRB everybody. Be right back. Enjoy the BRB screen in the meantime. Okay, yay, ads are done. I'm back. Hi. Hello. Thank you for sticking around through the ads. Pinecone says, my partner came home from work, so I'm going to disappear now. Thanks for the fun stream. Have a lovely time saying hi to your partner and talking about your days. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day. Thank you for hanging out. And hello, everyone. Hello. And welcome back. Let me catch up with chat if I can. I don't know why I said it like that. I'm so sorry. Oh man, these paints, oh my song, these paints are like ground after a drought. Exactly this. Also, did somebody say something about the stream getting transer and transer? Well, friends, have I got a show and tell for you? Hi. Posted this a few weeks ago. I'm sorry to bring it back around to Star Trek Deep Space Nine again, but I'm not sorry, because hell yeah. Also, I think Jedzi is neat, and I had a nice time painting this. It was one of Baby's first paintings using just gouache, so that was fun. It's the gouache chef's kiss at doing the trans pride stripes. I enjoyed that very much. These gouache paints are really nice. Speaking of, they are these. I will probably be using these to add some more dimension and details into this painting at the end of it, because I think that will work really well, and I think that will look really good. Just give it a little bit of a pop, because these pastel shades are delightful, but the range of values you can get out of them is understandably quite limited, and I would like it to stay that way for the most part, but I think having some little pops of a little bit darker, you know, to kind of shade things in and to just add some little details will just kind of make the whole thing come to life a little bit more. I don't know. We're going to try. Anyways, I'm going to continue getting some more of this done for a little bit longer if I can. I would like to I would like to also... Oh, geez, I should probably... I just realized that I painted in her face, but I didn't paint in either of her little paws or foots. So I should probably paint in her little paws and feets, which I think I have established in my previous works are also brownish, but she does have that little patch of like white fur on her, the lower portion of her face, which I just think that's very cute. And I did want I did want sort of variation in the types of fur that these two hamsters have, so they're not identical hamsters. They're two very different ladies, and I want their you know, appearances generally, including their fur, to reflect that. So this one is just more kind of less of a brownie and more of a blondie fur overall. So I'm going to pull in a little bit of this lemony yellow to our coloring. But not too yellow, because it's not like bright yellow fur, but it is blonder. So let me see how I'm doing. Does that feel like a fairly naturalistic blondie yet? I don't know. It's hard to tell on the palette how it's going to look on the page sometimes. But it also really is quite pale. But I definitely want to make sure that it's not like super bright yellow. Okay, I think this is, it's also very light. So I might have to do a second, this might be a little bit too watered down, and I'll need to do a second layer because there's really not much to this at all right now. Uh-oh. She's not white, she is a little blondie. A little sort of pale, very pale sort of straw color fur. So I'll do like a layer and I'll let that dry down, and then I'll do another layer perhaps. I haven't decided what color I want the blanket to be. I want it to be something that contrasts sufficiently with the, I feel like it wants to contrast sufficiently with both the grass and the ladies, so I'm wondering maybe kind of like a peachy color? Some kind of like peachy-ish patchwork perhaps would be cute. I could do that. I could do like a peachy patchwork maybe with like these two colors. That could be really cute. Still kind of nodding at like the, you know, sort of the lesbian flag, which is very sort of like peach and pink and orange kind of range. But yeah, that's one of those things where it turns out that like all of the stripes mean different things, and I do not remember what all of the different stripes mean. I don't remember what the stripes mean of like flags that actually apply to me personally, which this one does not. But the bi one does. And I mean, I'm assuming that the three stripes of the bi flag are you're in, you know, like pink for you're into ladies, and purple you're into like non-beanies and other like non-binary identity umbrella-y type things, and blue for you're into the fellas. That would make sense to me. I don't know what the different bits of the non-beanie flag mean. I just know I saw someone a little while ago say that they thought that that our flag is mid, and I'm like, no, I think it's pretty. I like that color combo. I think yellow it's got yellow for cheerful, it's got purple for like super pretty, and then it's got black and white, which are just classic. You know? What's not to love? You've got, you know, you've got the color for the absence of color, aka the absence of gender. You've got the color that is the culmination of all the colors at once, aka all of the genders at once. And then you've got yellow because it's pretty, and purple because it's pretty. What? It's good. I love the non-beanie flag. Please don't change it. Lovely. I'm proud of our country, in brackets non-binary, says Evan. Oh my god, did you see there's a comic that is, I feel like it's a classic now, And I don't know if I'd be able to find it, but now it's going to bother me if I don't try to look. So I'm going to be like... Because it just cracks me up. I do not need a, okay, so, this was reposted to Reddit. I don't have a link to the original artists, but I am gonna show you this comic because it cracked me up. Advent says, I'm not binary, but the prettiness of the MLM flag has me second-guessing my identity. Is that the one that's the kind of, like, that's, like, a sort of a gradient of all of these colors? Because I like that one. I've seen that described as the toothpaste flag as well, which is, I love that description. That's very funny. It's very funny that it's called the toothpaste flag, and that's very accurate, but also it is just a really pretty flag. I can appreciate other identities' flags without being them. You can appreciate other identities' flags without being them. You can just be like, wow. I love you and I support your rights. Not just because your flag is pretty, but also congratulations on having a really pretty flag. Oh, jeez. Okay. Sorry. I dropped something on the floor. It was going to bother me until I picked it up. But this comic absolutely... This is something that apparently happened to this person when they moved into, like, residence at university. And it just tickles me so much. So their roommate is like... I don't know how well you can see it, but they're like, so are you, like, gay or something? And they're like, what? And they're like, what pride flag is that? Oh, no! Ugh, that's so funny to me. That's right up there with the, there was a t-shirt that, like, a funny t-shirts website put out, like, 100 million years ago. Like, we're talking the early 2000s, because I was a university student at the time, and I wanted to buy it so bad, but I don't think they shipped to Canada or something, so I did not. But it was it had a graphic of, like, the British Union flag, you know the one. It was like a British Union flag, and then in big letters underneath it just said, Greece! And I just thought that was so funny. It's one of those things where, like, people are either going to get that, like, you're doing a funny comedy bit that, like, the country named on the thing is not the country that's the flag for, or you're going to get people, like, angrily actuallying you that that's not the Greek flag. One of the two. But I just found it very, very funny. Those are so funny, says Advent. I loved that. I love that comic. I think that was very silly and good. But yeah, I love, like, gay, straight, Italian. I support all forms of love. Oh. Okay. Anyways. Okay, I think I'm actually going to give the fur on this one more pass just to deepen the color. I tend to I'm trying to train myself away from, I used to kind of be afraid of, not afraid of color, but afraid of, like, letting my color be a little bit more saturated. And I got over that. I think I'm more or less over that, but every once in a while I just have to tell myself, like, if you think it looks done, you probably can futz a little bit more. You can add a little bit more color. You can have it be a little bit more saturated because, yeah. So yeah, I think now that looks good. Previously it was a little bit too pale, but now I think I'm happy with it. So yay. I am also going to use some permutation of these shades of brown and just kind of stir them up with my brush to make the picnic basket over here, which is, you know, it's going to be brownish because it's made out of some kind of wicker situation. The weather's been very, like, warm and summery here, as I'm sure you're aware. It's still real sweaty and unpleasant. I don't know what I'm doing this week, because I've had a couple weeks in a row, like 2 weeks in a row of basically not leaving the house unless I have to go get groceries, which is really depressing, kind of. But it's just, Like, it's not... I would have to be out of the house at, like, the hottest points in the day where it's, like, the least safe when I'm at my most tired. And that is a no thank you from me. But yeah. I don't know whether or not I'm doing that this week, or if I'm actually going to be... It's going to be safe for me to, like, leave the house at the hottest point of the day. Because it's kind of... My weather forecast has been sort of teetering between 29 and 30. And I feel like if it's under 30, I should probably make an effort. But if it's over 30, I'm not going out. And it keeps being indecisive about whether or not it's going to be under or over 30. And so I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I can't plan for this. I need you to make up your mind so I can plan. And it's not doing it. It's really annoying. Just want to know what the hell I'm doing. Anyways, tonight I'm having pasta salad, though, which is very exciting. So looking forward to that. Yes. Anywho, it's normal to be as excited about pasta salad as I am, right? I think it is, because pasta salad's really good. I'm going to steal a little bit of yellow back into the... I've just been playing with the same sort of, like, little muddy patch of brown this entire time, but now I kind of need a slightly golden brown, slightly buttery color, so I'm dipping back into it with maybe just a little bit of peach for our little Victoria sponge. The interior doesn't need to have too much color on it. It probably has a little bit of color just because it's quite a buttery, eggy sponge. But the top is going to need a little bit more kind of toasty browning, I think. So if I can just kind of pop that on there, because that's the bit that would have seen the most direct heat from the oven, of course. And then just maybe kind of the sort of crummy layer along the sides and the bottom. But that will do. A delicious, delicious Victoria sandwich for our little ladies. Oh, I forgot that I gave them peaches. Ah, heck. I forgot that I gave them peaches to snack on. Which, again, that's the reason that I was struggling to figure out what the deal is with scale and the sizes of things in this particular magical little landscape that we are existing in. Because the gnomes had strawberries that were like the size of big old watermelons, which implies that the gnomes themselves are very small if the watermelons are very big in comparison to them, but then these hamsters have peaches the size of, if I were a human being holding a peach in hand, it would be this size. Which begs the question of, does that mean that these hamsters are human-sized, or that the peaches are, like, actually the size of, like, very small berries in this world? And so they are peach-sized in that way. But they would be super tiny to us as humans. Like, the peach is the size of, like, a blueberry or something, you know what I mean? I just don't know. Or did I just F it up? Did I just F up my little universe? I mean, I guess it can be whatever I want. It's not, like, there isn't really a cohesive narrative running through all of these different paintings. I just have, like, a bunch of OCs that never really hang out with each other, but I kind of imagine live somewhat within the same continuity, but it's never really strictly defined in any way. Yeah. Maybe, let's just say in this magical world, the peaches are the size of blueberries, which has got to be really annoying because there is still a stone in the middle of them because they're stone fruits. But I bet those little peach berries are absolutely hecking delicious. Like, I bet they're so nice. Exceedingly cozy. Okay, I'm gonna make their little teacups this sort of violet blue shade. Because I think it's pretty. Do-do-do. And the same for this little guy over here. Do-do-do. Okay, wizard. Good. Good job, me. I now need to decide what is in this little flask that they've got here. I was thinking possibly just like some kind of iced tea situation. I'm sipping iced tea right now. It is, looks like this. It's raspberry and pineapple, and it's very good. The, oh, to my extreme financial detriment, I haven't ordered any yet, but the tea company that made this tea that I'm drinking right now is Bird & Blend. And they, a couple weeks ago, they launched a collaboration with Moomin. And I am extremely weak when it comes to the soft, gentle, gay whimsy of the Moomins. I really am. Oh, Biddle boy. And they are selling a tin of tea that looks like the Moomin house. Like, it is so cute, y'all. Okay, I need to show, I'm not sponsored, but you know, I need y'all to see this because it is so stinking cute. I'm so jealous. But I think as far as like whimsical stories and tales go, like Moomin as a franchise has done a very good job at like monetizing and merchandising. I don't think there's anyone in the world who owns all of the Moomin merch to exist because there's so much. I need to get more cultured about teas. If only there were a YouTube channel to do that with. Oh, well, you're in good hands here, Advent, because guess what? I have several YouTube videos where I talk about tea. I don't know how educational or edifying any of it is, but it certainly exists. Speaking of, I'm about 9 minutes into the first round of edits on my next video, so it will probably actually be emerging relatively soon, hooray! I'm very excited about this because I've been working on it for a really long time. I filmed a bunch of stuff for it in May. I was writing the script back in April. It's been a journey. And now it's July. And I'm in the editing suite. I did like the just sit and speak to camera portion of it last week, I think. And so now I'm doing the edits, getting the bits together, cutting out the bits where I flub my sentences and say stupid stuff and just generally do a terrible job. Yeah, it's going. It's most definitely going. And I'm having a nice time doing it. I'm adding a little bit of a red to this, and then I'm going to kind of blend it with the brown and probably add a little bit of orange to try and make a tea brown color, which hopefully I'll be able to achieve. This is a weird looking tea, but you know, never mind. I'm very excited for the video this Advent. I don't even know if this is going to be interesting. I don't remember what the hell I talked about because I just looked at the runtime and I'm like, okay, I think I've mentioned all of the important facts that I needed to cover in the video. I have another 30 minutes of footage to wade through. What the heck was I talking about this whole time? Oh no! I think things may go slightly off the rails for, most of it. You know what? Okay, I am struggling to get this tea color correct, so I'm just gonna steal a little bit of brown from my Frog and Toad palette and just mash it in here. That's more of a tea-ish color. Okay, that'll do. It does look to be something of a milk tea, I would say. Just based on the sort of pasteliness of these paints don't lend themselves well to, I think, being a black tea. So I think they've brought milk tea with them, and that's quite alright. I do like a milk tea. I do like a milk tea myself, so that's all good. Okay. Anyways. I just need to try and whip up. There's a little stopper up here. Which actually, I think, do I want to make it kind of one of those red ones? Ah, shoot. Ah, shoot. Do I have a tissue I can just kind of blot? I hope y'all like this video that I'm working on, because it did take quite a lot of time and work to get done. So I really sincerely hope that it will be enjoyable and good. And I honestly haven't the foggiest whether or not it will be at this point, but I did try. And I've got some pretty significant plans. I'm already working on the, I am already working on the, I've got a good deal done of the script, and actually also I've got some footage filmed, some location footage filmed for my next video after this one. I have some baking footage filmed for a possible video after that, and then I also have a whole boatload of B-roll for another video. I've got a lot of stuff in the pipeline is my point. If you like the kind of nonsense that I get up to, I have a lot of stuff. And that's not even withstanding the sewing project stuff, and I might be filming some going back and rewatching some Star Trek and reviewing them. Because I have like a project vlog type video in the works where I I weaponized my desire to rewatch Deep Space Nine by making this productivity hack whereby, okay, you can sew for 45 minutes a day at the same time as you watch an episode of Deep Space Nine. And the reason that I did it this way was that I figured, this will force me to actually sit down and sew several days out of the week, but also not get stuck in like a hyperfixation loop for such a long period of time that I do it for 6 hours straight and burn myself out and then not look at it for 6 months, which is what I usually do with things like sewing projects, which is very bad. It still took a really long time to finish the project because I was sewing entirely by hand because, I don't know, does anybody else want to see project vlogs where you talk simultaneously about Star Trek and also 18th century dress history? I sure hope you do. No one wants this. I realize that no one wants this. I realize that like the Venn diagram of people who want to watch videos about Star Trek and people who want to watch videos about dress history at the same time is 2 circles. However, if there is a sliver of intersection, I'm inside that. Therefore, I want to do it. But as I was like writing up my little sort of like 1-sentence summaries of the episode I watched and how I felt about it whilst I was like, you know, felling down a seam edge or whatever, I was like, man, I actually have a lot of things to say about some of these episodes. Maybe I should just do some Star Trek episode reviews. That would be fun. Except I do all of these weird video essays on my channel. Are people going to want Star Trek episode reviews on the same channel that I do weird video essays about things completely unrelated to Star Trek? No! This is a terrible idea. Like, engagement algorithmically wise, this is basically confirming that my channel will never be successful. I'm not even going to reach monetization numbies ever. But you know what? Fine! Fine! I'd rather that than do things I don't enjoy, or not do things I do enjoy because I think they'll be bad for the algorithm. F that noise. If this isn't fun, there's no point in doing it. So I'm just gonna do things that I find fun and that I enjoy, damn it. So there you have it. Anyways, I want this, says Advent. Oh, thank you. I haven't seen Star Trek, so I like hearing about it. Oh, that's fun. Well, I hope to bias your opinions so that when you watch it, you'll already think the same things as me. Or I apologize. No, I'm kidding. I am in the sliver also, says Solera. Yay! I love both those things. Yay! I literally, in my sewing corner, I have... Okay, I mean, obviously, because he's a tailor, so he likes getting to oversee, like, the sewing activity and guarding my haberdashery and what have you. But also, obviously, I'd be remiss if I didn't have his boyfriend on hand just in case I, like, you know, stab myself in the fingy tip with my sewing needle, which I do not irregularly and need some first aid. And also it means that they get to hang out all day and make out, so they're very happy. Anyways, yeah, I'm gonna give them a little hug. I love these guys. I love them so much. They're so squishy and cute. I actually really want to, like, I love his little uniform, obviously, but also, I can sew. I really want to make, like, little outfits for them to change into so they can wear other outfits. Sometimes I think I might be too whimsical for my own good. Anyways, I think what I'm going to do is, do we think that peach is the right color for this? I don't know. Having a really hard time deciding what color I want this blankie to be. I wish there was a way for me to just, like, see what different colors would look like. I'm actually, okay, I am not going to get started on the blanket today. I think I'm going to call it a day. I know we're a little bit early, but I do have to go make pasta salad, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm taking a photo of the painting with my phone. I'm going to go stick this into, like, Photoshop, and I'm going to just, like, vaguely, like, pencil tool in different colors from this palette onto here if I can, and see which color I like best, and then paint that one. Is that stupid? I don't know. Is that cheating? I hope not. I just genuinely am having a hard time visualizing what would be the most, like, harmonious and also interesting, contrasty enough to everything else that's going on right now. Color. It might be yellow, but I don't know if yellow's too bright. It's tough. It's really, I'm having a really hard time, because, like, is it going to be too close to their outfits if I make it pink and purple? If I make it green, obviously, it's going to blend in too much with the grass. So then I was thinking, like, orange, but then is that going to blend in the basket and stuff? I'm just going to have to trial a couple of things, like, digitally, and then decide which one I like best. I don't think I've ever done anything like this before. You can't cheat in art other than AI and underpaid workers, says Advent. Yeah, no, I agree. I consider what I'm doing to be, like, using a tool as opposed to, that is at my disposal as opposed to cheating. I think cheating in art is, like, plagiarism, whether that's, like, literally just saving a JPEG of somebody else's painting and posting it and saying that you painted it, or, like, straight ahead, like, note for note copying someone else's artwork. That's cheating, I think. Tracing someone else's artwork and passing it off as your own work is cheating. But, for instance, like, you know, and obviously the plagiarism that is using, like, an AI thing to generate an image for you, that's absolutely cheating, and you should feel bad about yourself. I would rather see your, like, inexperienced new artist earnest attempt at drawing something and not getting it perfect the first time than I would something that, you know, you didn't notice has a third arm because you put it through the steals other people's art and poops out bad crap machine, and it took, like, a couple of phone charges worth of electricity to do it. Like, no, you stink, you're stupid, and, like, I'm sorry that you are robbing yourself of the joy of creating, because the hours that I spend, like, actually working on these things and, like, figuring stuff out and coloring it, that's the fun part. You're robbing yourself of the fun part of it, and if you don't find it fun, then fine, take up another hobby. I don't know, have you considered whittling? Or crochet, or, like, cross stitch? There are so many things that you can do with your hands that are fun. And if you don't enjoy any of those, I don't know, maybe try, like, joining a fantasy football league. I don't know. But honestly, having a hobby and doing something creative is extremely good for you. It's good for your mental health. It's good for your outlook. And also, it is a more sustainable source of, like, dopamine than just the instant gratification of a stupid generator. Ugh. Anyways. Advent says, I'll send my inexperienced artist never drawn before drawing on Discord later. I would love to see it, and so would the rest of us. Very much so. I would love that. Me here is a crochet and cross stitcher who's about to start getting into whittling. Wow, seriously? That's rad as heck. I love all of these things. It's amazing. High five, says Kirsty. Hi, Kirsty! Thank you for the high fives. Anyways, but yeah, no. I sometimes think of, like, oh, you know, like, it, like, like, intended to use the Pastel Shades paint pan set to paint this. So if I use a little bit of this, like, different watercolor set because I can't quite get the color right, that's not cheating either. That's just using a paint. But also, again, if I decided to, like, make changes to this in post, in, like, Photoshop, that's also not cheating. I don't know why my brain sometimes frames it like that, because it's not. That's just using a tool. Similarly, like, if I need to draw, like, a perfect circle, I will just take, like, a circular object that I have in my studio, plonk it down on the canvas, and take my pencil and trace around it. That's not cheating, that's using a tool. In the same way that you would use, like, a ruler to get a straight line. But it's like, oh, no, you should be able to freehand that. It's fine if you can't freehand it. It's fine. You know? Use a tool. That is this is an art supply. That's it. Brains are silly goobers, says Kirsty. They really are, and everything's fine. Cassa says, I'm sat here cross-stitching as we speak. That's awesome. I love your cross-stitches, Cassa. They're so stinking cute. That's awesome. I love it. All right. And on that bombshell, I think I need to end, because I think I need to go make pasta salad and, take that phone photo, stick it in Photoshop, and see if I can airbrush on a color that I think works well with this scene, because I genuinely can't visualize what the best color for it would be, and I don't want to put down the wrong color and regret my decisions, because it's a lot harder to paint over with these ones. Ooh, I also said a cross-stitch book I like. Ooh, yes, I would love to see it. Oh man, there was the cutest knitting pattern I saw the other day. I actually found out about it because there was like a clothing brand that it looks like potentially stole the design from this knitting book. This knitting book looks like it comes from the 80s. But it had this pattern that was like a pullover jumper that had like geese and then a whole bunch of like sort of interesting stripes sort of around it. It was really cute. Way more color work than I can ever do in knitting. I am an interesting stitches person. I am not an interesting color work person. So it is not for me, but I thought it was so stinking cute. Oh man, I should find it again. I should learn to do color work so I can make it. Anyways, I'm getting away from myself. I need to go cook dinner. I'm so sorry. But thank you so much for hanging out with me today, everybody. It's been very, very fun. And thank you also to Jam and Sammy Ann and Ripley for the raids. I really appreciate it. If you're not following me on the Discord and you want to be in the Discord, you are very welcome to join the Discord. You can find out when I'm live. You can let us know when you're live. Post pictures of things that you baked or whatever. Any arts and crafts that you have made. Any games that you recommend. We love to hear all about that stuff. So feel free to come hang out with us there. It is a quiet place, but we have fun. And I hope you had fun here today as well. I've been so chatty lately and really not getting a lot of painting done. But I think we made some good progress today. And I think we are on track to maybe even finishing this next time. As soon as I can figure out what the heck is going on with this blanket, I think we will be good. But in the meantime, who shall we go say hi to? Ooh, let me just check and make sure that this user isn't just about to finish, because that would be really embarrassing. Oh my god, okay, I want to apologize to anyone who was in the last stream, at the end of the last stream, and we went to raid a lovely friend of the channel who, it turns out, ended their stream literally the second I hit raid, they ended. I don't think it was personal. I think it was coincidental, but nevertheless, really embarrassing, and I'm really sorry that you got dropped into an offline channel. Obviously, that was not my intention. Speaking of fiber arts, it looks like Kels here is doing a little bit of crochet. So, it says that they're, okay, never mind. We are not going to the crochet because they've got raid switched off. I'm sorry. That's fine. Let's see who else is online. Ooh, okay. Maybe this person is raidable. They are not doing crochet. Nope, that someone in chat has just said thanks for the stream. Well, damn it. They've just earned it. Oh my god. I am just absolutely striking out with please don't be ending. Please do not be just about to end. I do not think that our friend Perrin is just about to end. We're gonna go see Perrin then. Okay, yeah, they started 25 minutes ago, and I know that their streams are not that short. They're having a nice quiet time today, so let's go have a nice quiet time with Perrin. I'm so sorry for, like, the 2-stream fake-outs. At least I didn't send you to someone who was who just ended again, because, embarrassing. You're cursed, says Advent. Apparently I am. Let's drop in with some, gentle, loving Terrys, shall we? I haven't painted a Terry the Forg Mage in a little bit, but I do have plans for a Terry in the very near future, so hopefully, you'll look forward to that very soon. But in the meantime, here is the raid message. If you have the emotes, feel free to grab the emotes. If you do not have the emotes, you can just say generic raid message and append any cool emotes that you do have. I am speaking very fast because we are about to get we're about to get dumped into Parrot's channel. So thank you so much for watching. You're all wonderful. I will be back on Thursday. So take care in the meantime. Have a good week, a good night, and good luck.